I've never met Zachary. I mean, I don't even know how long you guys have been divorced.
9 months, Saitama. She's also made great strides in Parkinson's.
She's a living legend.
Right.
I knew.
She didn't really want it to be her fault.
What a legend. It must have been so cool to come up after him.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, both women are parents. Amelia has a son named Scott, and Toni has a son named, in this case, Zachary. A major plot point, involves Toni's ex-wife, Celine Talbot, asking Toni to reconcile, which causes tension between Amelia and Toni. Yes, so definitely I saw, a plot twist coming for them, and yes, we finally got the plot twist. So I'm very excited to see how are they going to handle this situation. So let's break down everything, from their relationship starting off like a love affair situation, them just trying to make sense of their emotions and hooking up with one another, to now things escalating to Toni's ex-wife basically trying to get back in the picture. So let's get right into a little bit more of details regarding that whole situation. So at this point, we can see that Amelia and Toni, they are officially hooking up with one another. They are not putting their, relationship situations up, under pressure. They just, genuinely, enjoying each other company, and also, trying to find a balance of, working together and also keeping their romance aside, and just trying to find a perfect balance of everything. So it looks like everything was going well for them, but obviously there will always be like how can I say, a plot twist. And the plot twist came very unexpectedly, because I definitely didn't saw this one coming, because it looks like Toni, Toni's ex-wife, who's also a very prestigious doctor, is back in the picture. And when, in this case, Amelia actually ends up finding out who her ex-wife is, she was very shocked, because she knows her ex-wife is a very prestigious, a legend doctor. So it kind of made her feel like, hey, I feel like this is something you should have told me. And also it was like a surprise point for her, because she definitely didn't investigate, in this case, Toni's past, or who she was involved with, who she was married to. So when she found out who her ex-wife is and who they share a son with, in this case have a son with, it was kind of surprising for Amelia, and it kind of did make her feel like a type of way. But later on, you can see that Toni, she kind of, gave her, how can I say, she gave, Amelia the reassurance that she needed, that, hey, like, that's my past. We are done, she's my ex-wife. We are co-parenting. I don't want you to worry. But, until that point, we can see that Amelia was like, okay, I'm gonna relax with this. I get it. That's your past. And, I'm not gonna feel insecure about this anymore, because I don't want my insecurity, my insecurities in this case, to break what we have going on. So they kind of have a mutual understanding, especially after, a very good, a scenario that Toni created, just to show reassurance to Amelia. I feel like that was something very mature from her side, knowing how, Amelia could feel, and also at the same time trying to make Amelia understand that at the end of the day, this is my past and this is my present, and we're gonna figure out what we have going on. I definitely love that scene a lot, I have to say. But after that, when I just thought that, okay, they got their things figured out, Amelia already know who Toni ex is. She already knows about her, past relationship. Toni already gave her, reassurance that, the past is the past, and they two are basically trying to figure things out. Then comes the plot twist. So you can basically see that Toni's ex-wife, was calling her and texting her, and then, she was basically just asking Toni for them to meet up, to have a conversation, to have lunch together. And obviously Toni told Amelia like, hey, my ex is trying to, in this case, to see me. And at the beginning, Amelia didn't, think nothing about it, because at the end of the day, they are co-parenting. So it's normal if you're going to see your ex, especially your ex-wife who you share a kid with. But later on, you can see that through Toni's expression, she was like, I know how my ex is. She didn't want to accept our divorce. The last time they met, you can clearly see that in this case, Toni ex-wife, she didn't want to, Toni to leave her. So she definitely didn't want, the marriage to end. But Amelia was like, hey, still go. And if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. But later on, Toni actually ends up going. And after they had lunch, after they saw each other, there's where we have a mega plot twist. So in this case, Toni actually ends up telling Amelia that her ex wanted to speak to her because she wants to reconcile. She wants, them to give their relationship a second chance or their marriage a second chance. And Amelia asked her like, how long are you guys divorced? And she was like 9 months. And obviously Amelia was like, wow, so it's recent. It's not a long divorce or long separation. And it did kind of make Amelia feel a type of way. But she was then obviously she asked, Toni, do you want to get back with her? Like where your mind is at? And you can see that Toni basically said that no, but she also doesn't know. Like she doesn't have a sure answer if she wants to get back with her ex-wife or no, or if she wants to reconcile with her ex-wife or no. And obviously that made Amelia feel a type of way because she's like, hey, we are seeing each other, we are dating. You go out, to have lunch with your ex-wife, you come back and you tell me that your ex-wife wants to reconcile with you. I ask you if you want to reconcile with her as well, and you tell me you don't know, you're not sure, so it means that there are doubt from your part. And obviously I'm not going to force you to be with me if you aren't sure you want to be with me. So the conversation kind of left off there, and obviously, by the end of the episode we can see that, Amelia runs to Toni's car and basically just tell her like, hey, don't go back, don't go back. I don't know what we are doing, but I know there's reasons why you left your ex-wife, and I don't want you to go back. I don't know what's going to happen between us, but I'm showing you that I want to be with you. And basically she was just there fighting for Toni, and I feel like they was so mature from Amelia's side, because you can see that Toni, she is unsure, but she does like, Amelia a lot. But also she has a past with her ex-wife, and they have a family together or had a family together. So it's more safe for her to be with her ex-wife, because her and Amelia is something new, is something unknown. She doesn't know if it's gonna work out. And you can see that Toni is a woman that likes stability, and she's not sure if she will have that stability with Amelia. But Amelia also this time gave her reassurance like, hey, I'm not sure this is gonna work, but I'm here, and I feel like we could work, and I'm not here basically to play games. I want you. Basically, that's what I could get out of that whole conversation that they had. Obviously, to be honest, I feel like Toni, she was very happy. She was very happy to see, Amelia fighting for what they have going on. But also at the same time, by Tony's how can I say, expression on her face, I feel like she was happy, but also at the same time she didn't give me the answer that I thought she would. I thought that she would be super happy, super excited. Obviously, it's an emotional topic for her, but also I didn't get security from her facial expression or just the way she handled the situation. Obviously, I could be wrong. Hopefully in the next episodes we will see how what is the aftermath of that conversation. But hopefully this couple stay together. I like them so much. They have a perfect balance to each other, just the way they talk, the way they communicate, the way they come together to make this situation love affair work. So we will have to stay tuned to see what's gonna happen. So go watch Grey Anatomy season 22, because it is definitely not disappointing at all, in my personal opinion.